is especially insidious and secretive. I've had people admit as much when I've called them back later. Free speech is not nearly as prominent as we've been led to believe, and this becomes increasingly obvious as your presentation becomes more powerful, more accurate, more poignant, more cogent, and more relevant. Although I'm sometimes brought on the media as an interesting diversion or sideshow, those responsible soon realize they've bitten off more than they can chew and they have a major problem on their hands. When all is said and done, however, conditions are by no means hopeless because a broad spectrum of believers are out there seeking answers. For those who wish to adopt our approach, we suggest the following procedures. First, go to a bookstore and buy the Layman's Parallel Bible, which has 4 versions: the King James, the Revised Standard, the Modern Language, and the Living Bible in parallel columns. I think one of them has been replaced by the NIV. Then proceed as follows. Read the King James. If you can't understand it, and I can understand that, read the Revised Standard version. It's newer and not quite as difficult. If you still don't understand the text, read the Modern Language version, which I think now is NIV. And if you still don't understand, read the Living Bible version. It's nothing more than a pathetic paraphrase with many inaccuracies, but it's very easy to read. Go through the entire Bible in this manner. Buy a red pen and do a lot of marking in your Bible of contradictions and other problems. Write internal problems and contradictions on the pages to the left and external problems and contradictions on the pages to the right. Avoid Christian commentaries. Don't let them influence you as to what is being said or what they think is being said. Just read it cold. Second, buy Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, or Young's, because some kind of comprehensive index is a must. It will tell you the location of every word in the King James Version of the Bible. All you have to do is remember any word in any verse, and the book will cite every verse in which that word appears. Another resource you'll need is an historical atlas of biblical lands, which will help you trace, for instance, the journey of the Israelites at the time of the Exodus. Third, contact Christians. Go to their meetings and ask questions. Years ago, I participated in a Seventh-day Adventist seminar on the books of Daniel and Revelation, and everyone present was a fundamentalist except me. I asked questions week after week. After about the 4th or 5th week, you could have heard a feather drop when I was asking a question. The people were afraid something was going to come out of my mouth that they hadn't considered or didn't want to hear. The minister teaching the course tried to persuade me to join his church and told me several times privately, that his church would send me to an all-expense-paid church-sponsored seminary if I would accept Jesus and work for his denomination. Those whom they can't refute, they often try to co-opt. Be willing to go to any meetings Christians sponsor as long as questions are permitted throughout. And don't waste your time listening to one-sided sermons like those on TV. The only strategy more effective than ours would entail force or the control of people's education from birth. In conclusion, and I'm concluding all 100 programs, if you really delve into the Bible, you'll see it's a maze, a mass, a veritable labyrinth of contradictions, inconsistencies, inaccuracies, poor math, bad science, erroneous geography, false prophecies, filthy language, degenerate heroes, and a multitude of other problems too numerous to mention. It may be somebody's word, but it certainly isn't the product of a perfect divine being. The Bible has more holes in it than a backdoor screen. In a society dominated by this book's influence, all freethinkers should do what Adam and Eve did when they were expelled from the Garden of Eden. They went out and raised Cain. Before moving to our final commentary, I can't help but quote a brief letter we received from a supporter in Illinois, as well as a conversation I had with a college student years ago. Our supporter states, "I'm in the process of acquiring all of your publications' back issues. If only they had been available half a lifetime ago when I spent," I think he means wasted, 8 years in a seminary of my church. And the college student states, "Before I accepted Jesus, I was addicted to drugs, sex, and alcohol, but I've been clean ever since my conversion. Jesus changed my life completely." To this I said, "I'm sorry to tell you, my friend, that you're still an addict. All you've done is change the prescription." That completes our presentation, and I'm sorry to say, brings us to the end of Biblical Errancy Commentary. To all of you who have stayed with us throughout all 100 of our programs, I can only say, I salute you. Your endurance is to be commended, because I know the programs have been tedious and quite detailed at times, but I know of no other way the facts could have been brought out more comprehensively or more effectively. Assembling these programs has entailed a lot of time, effort, motivation, research, writing, and commitment, as you can well imagine. I especially want to thank each and every member of our TV crew, without whom producing these programs could never have occurred. Their patience and endurance, as well as freely donated time, have been an inspiration and most appreciated. I know I speak for all of us when I say, if we've carried sanity into battles we've fought, if we've revealed the actuality many have sought, if we've brought reality to a society distraught, then our efforts will not have been in vain. Speaking on behalf of Biblical Errancy Commentary and our staff, I certainly want to thank all of you for listening to our programs. Goodbye, and keep smiling.